Welcome to the Science of Yes with your hostess, Pam Heath, the Yes Coach.
Why don't you say yes?
Each week, Pam will speak about the energy of yes and how you can use it to create an extraordinary, prosperous life that you will absolutely love.
Oh, yes!
Pam has spent a lifetime creating and leading transformational programs and is passionate about making abundance available for everyone through the power of yes. Callers are welcome, and we invite you to like Pam's show before leaving the program. So, open your mind and open your heart and be ready to receive what is possible for your friend, the Yes Coach.
Say yes!
Hi, welcome to the Science of Yes, and I'm Pam Heath, the Yes Coach. And I'm here today with a very special guest. And it's really cool because this, for me, is a major undertaking because I admire this woman greatly. She's not only a heart-centered abolitionist, which for me just blows my mind. It's like a revolutionist who's about peace, but is a stand for the change that needs to come in the world. But she's also someone who absolutely helps you get access to that inner being so that you can heal those things that are broken, that are damaged, that are hurt inside yourself. Her intuitive coaching abilities is mind-boggling, and I brought her here today so that we can discuss one of the many resources she uses in her practice, and it's called tapping. Now, some of you may have heard of tapping before. I personally have heard about it, but I knew very little about it until I started working with JoJo Diggs. JoJo is here today to share her infinite knowledge about tapping, but also that you can get to know her so you can understand what it is that she provides in her process and think about whether or not maybe this is something you're absolutely looking for. After all, in the universe of yes, anything's possible, right? So without any further ado, I'm going to introduce you to my friend and my mentor in many ways, JoJo Diggs. JoJo.
Hi. Wow. It's so great that you're my mentor and I'm your mentor and we're both each other's mentor. That just speaks so much to the beauty of, I think, women sometimes, just being able to hold so much nuance and not have it be like one or the other. So anyway, it's such a treat to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's so great to have you here. And I have to tell you, I've heard a lot about tapping and I've seen you actually in action using it. I want to know all about it. Tell me everything.
Spill the beans, huh? So, okay, so tapping is sort of its casual name. Its official name is EFT, which stands for Emotional Freedom Technique, and it was born out of the 70s. There is actual like medical documentation that proves its effectiveness both through emotional discomfort, but actually also physical discomfort. And I'll get into that in a little bit. But basically, what you're doing is you're identifying certain parts of the body that are connected to, let's say, the hand. And so a lot of this is rooted in TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, where we're able to locate that we have these meridians that move all through the body, right? If you ever did acupuncture, they are sticking needles in you to open up these channels. Okay, so you can do that with the needle, but you can also do it with the finger. That's called acupoint. And so EFT takes acupoint to tap on certain parts of the body and then combines that with language that, the way I would describe, defragments the spirit. So we're integrating the body, we're healing the body, we're releasing toxins out of the body, but we're also, in many people's techniques through language, integrating something psychologically or emotionally, or making way for something to be acknowledged that's deep within the spirit. So that's a lot of fancy words, right? You might be like, okay. So let's say I'm tapping right here on the side of my hand, and I might say, even though I'm anxious, I love and accept myself, right? So you might think that in a lot of healing practices would be like, I'm not anxious, I got this, right? We might kind of like positive pep talk ourselves. But in EFT, it's more of acknowledging that that's present and loving that part of you. It's integrating it versus pretending it's not there. It's moving towards it instead of shutting it down. So a lot of EFT statements are going to start with, even though, and then finishing with, I love and accept myself. And so this is a way for us to acknowledge those deeper parts of us. So that's sort of a real rounded out basic structure. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tapping points. And I don't know if you've ever learned like cooking an egg, right? You can cook an egg and you can learn how to cook an egg really easily, right? But there's also a lot of technique that you could drive into to learn how to cook this, like cook an egg, you know? So that's kind of how EFT is. Like you can learn how to do it pretty fast and it's going to work. But as you move into it and you really drive in, there's also a lot of information where you can really expand your talent and skill. So I'll start with that. What questions does that open up for you?
Well, the first thing that occurs to me, and you mentioned about the aspect of healing. So is this energy healing, this tapping?
What I call this energy healing? I would call this energy restoration. So let's say I have stuck energy. So this right here, on the side of my hand here, I'm actually tapping into my small intestine, okay, or my bladder, my gallbladder, my stomach, my kidneys. So I'm tapping into some part of my body. And then I might be able to tap into that and clear and rebalance any energetic distortion or imbalance, any stuck points, things like that through this tapping. So this is essentially acupoint. So there's also techniques of different forms, not EFT, where you massage those points. So massaging these parts of the body that are connected to other meridians is not exclusive to EFT because it is acupoint, which is used across a few modalities. But I don't know if I'd say it's energy healing, because for me, that sometimes means extraction, but it's energy rebalancing.
Oh, I see. So inside of rebalancing the energy, let's say, like, for instance, if you're diagnosed with a specific kind of cancer, could you utilize tapping to balance yourself out and restore your body to the way it was pre-cancer?
That's a big question. Um, I I mean, the biggest part of me says like I don't know, but I don't think it's impossible. Um, I think that when when we're in a position where our body is communicating something to us, there's a lot that we can do to restore the balance of it. But that might also require psychological, like mental shifts or lifestyle shifts. So I think that EFT can play a role in that restoration, but I would say it probably can't do it by itself.
The
But
other
it,
the other thing I've heard about tapping, and everything I'm learning about tapping, I'm learning in this conversation. There's that I've heard and I've seen, I have no idea. But can you utilize tapping to, like, if you feel blocked, let's say, in your creativity or in any area of your life, if you feel like there's some obstacle that's stopping you, or maybe your subconscious is stopping you from achieving something, can you use tapping specifically to balance yourself or restore yourself so that you are no longer blocked and you're no longer sabotaging yourself inside of what you're up to?
Yeah, that's something I really think that it could be used for. I use tapping for a lot of things. I use tapping the most when I'm feeling like I've gotten to a big transition in my mental clarity. If I'm working with a client and they're having a big awareness moment, I want to tap into that and really integrate it out of the mind and down into the body. But I might also use it in a moment of somatic. Soma means the body, so somatic overwhelm. So if I'm having a lot of, whoa, my gosh, oh, I'm pissed right now. I'm nervous right now. I'm sad right now. I will use it for that. And then I also think like you're asking, can we use it to to expand, to get rid of these stuck moments in terms of create expression. Yeah, I think it's a good tool to go in there and really see what's going on and discover, why am I stuck? What part of this thinks it's helping me? Yeah, I think that's a big part of, is for me, I think everyone's approach to EFT is quite different in the language, right? Because there's not, right? If you said to me, Jojo, I'm upset and I need to process this and I'm going to use my EFT, but there's not like a structure book, like, oh, you have to say this thing to Pam Heath on December 16th at 9:19 a.m., right? You're not going to, there's no book. So I have to approach it very much like dance. I got to take the foundation I know and then apply it in a way that feels authentic for me. So we might work together in a certain way, but for me, the way that I use EFT is you're bringing me, okay, I feel kind of stuck creatively. Let's say you're bringing me that. So I'm going to explore towards that and I'm going to help you figure out why you feel stuck, because some part of you thinks that's helpful. Some part of you needs to be stuck right now, believes that it needs to be stuck right now. So I'm going to work with you towards doing that. Now, not every practitioner is going to do that. So that's what I'm trying to make clear. Some practitioners aren't going to use it for that, but I'm going to try to use it and get way back into those deep subconscious parts of yourself and integrate it. Because for me, the language of EFT means that every single part of us is helping us out. Every single part of us is supportive and thinks it's doing a good job, right? And that's where this no shaming part of us comes in our healing process. Even though I'm anxious, I love and accept myself. Thank you, anxiousness. I know you're trying to keep me safe. I know you're trying to have me watch out. I thank you. And I got this. So I'm letting you go a little bit, but thank you for being here. So when you feel stuck creatively, thank you, stuckness. I see that and we might explore why this thinks that it's helping you out and then crack it open from there. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes total sense. When you're, I noticed that you were saying about speaking out loud. Is there some aspect of the tapping where out loud speaking is necessary, or can you think it mentally, the things that you're voicing?
I believe, and I think this is more from my experience in more spiritual realms, where if you need guidance from your spirit guides, you need to say it out loud. So I think sort of for me, it's like I need to say it out loud. I need to get the words out, because we think, how many thoughts? We think so many thoughts that our thoughts are yammering all day. So to speak word, I believe, is a different vibration in the body. So I'm really an advocate for speaking. And the reason my answers are a bit long is because I want to make it clear that each practitioner is going to approach EFT in a different way. And it's not like my way is the way. This is what I believe. Now, there are certain parts of EFT that are the way that they are, and those are the tapping points and what they access. But the approach to how it's used is specific to each practitioner.
Absolutely, I'm clear. So the one thing that I've heard, and I dance around on YouTube a lot looking at different videos, I heard that you can use tapping to be open to receive abundance and money. Is that true?
Hmm. I would say, I think that we can use tapping to, I think we can use tapping with affirmation, and I think we can affect our cellular structure through that tapping. So, long story short, yes, I think that that's true. I think that as you're speaking life over your cells and you're bringing in red blood cells and you're bringing in words that make your body feel good, I think that that could be effective for the attunement of your body, inviting abundance into your life.
Oh, that's exciting. Thanks for that. So, I'm somebody who's watching this podcast and I want to learn more about tapping. And you mentioned there's no structures really for it. So where do I start? I watched this 30-minute podcast and now I'm consumed with knowing more. Where do I go to get more information about EFT?
Okay. So sorry if I said there's no structures and I misspoke. There the structure of the tapping points, right? And those are your jam, and that's your basic foundation. But as with most modalities, each practitioner has different beliefs, different approaches, and things like that. Now, that said, you would want to start with learning the 9 different tapping points in the body. There's plenty of courses that you can take either through like Udemy or even just YouTube, going to YouTube, and you can find a lot of information there. Um, I mean, it's 2023, almost 24. So you look up EFT or tapping, you'll be able to find tons of information and find someone that feels good for you, feels like their technique feels good for you. But of
Okay.
course, I think I'm the best.
I do too. So here's the thing. I'm studying about tapping. I've learned as much as I can learn. Is there such a thing as an EFT practitioner?
Yeah, absolutely. There is. Yeah. I would consider myself an EFT practitioner. There's a huge app called the tapping technique. I think that's what it's called. And they hold huge seminars annually. And you could learn a lot of information there if you were really going to dive into it. But yeah, of course, I'm a EFT practitioner. It's not the primary focus of my work. The primary focus of my work is holistic um, integration. So sometimes that's the body, sometimes that's collective, so on and so forth. So it's not the center of my work, but there are a lot of people where this is what they do and this is what they do.
Awesome. So, here on the podcast, The Science of Yes, we actually examine the energy of yes and the whole concept of what it is to heal yourself, empower yourself, rebalance, as JoJo mentioned. And so we learned about tapping today. However, if there's more you want to learn about JoJo, in the notes, I'm going to give you all the links to her website, to her Instagram, but I also encourage you to reach out to her and ask because she is a phenomenal coach and she does the most amazing work with people. She can get you to a point where you're empowering yourself, moving past your own limitations. She does shadow work. She does amazing work. So JoJo is available for you. If you want to get to know her and learn more about her, then JoJo, what's the best way they can reach you after watching this session of The Science of Yes?
Probably the best way to check out to see if I'm a good fit for you would be on Instagram. You can watch a lot of my reels and what I talk about, where my attention goes. So that's probably the best place. Yeah. Pam, are they going to be able to see me on this podcast? Because
Yeah,
should we do
this
one
is a
round of
podcast that's
EFT?
audio, but I also put
Yeah.
it in my YouTube channel. So
Okay.
people
Do you
can
want to do
hear
a
and
round of
see it.
EFT before we jump off, is what I'm
Oh,
asking?
sure. I'd love to. Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. I'd love, yeah, just because people, even if they don't really, air quotes, know what they're doing, even after a few rounds, people go, "Ooh, that feels good," right away.
Yes.
So I'd love for people to experience it without going, "Oh, I'll try it later," and then, it doesn't happen. So let's take our non-dominant hand and place that on our heart and just take a moment to slow down and come drop down back into the body. Sometimes we're just so in our eyeballs, right? We're just like checking each other out and we're in our head. So the first thing you want to do is slow down and come into the body. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Exhale down. Feel your bottom in the chair. Release the tongue from the roof of your mouth and relax your jaw. Take a moment to be with yourself. One more deep breath in through your nose. And as you exhale, go ahead and give yourself a little heart rub here. Say, hello, body. We kind of walk around with this body and we don't really pay attention to it until it's kind of complaining, right? So it's here for us all the time. So I like to always start with some gratitude for the heartbeat in the body that's walking around with us all day. So let's start with tapping on the side of the hand. So I take 4 fingers and I tap here on this side of the hand, the squishy part. And let's just start with, since I don't know what anybody is necessarily feeling, we'll just start with a more general prompt and we'll say, hello, body.
Hello, body.
And we're going to move to the top of the head and we'll say, even though I have some discomfort in my body,
Even though I have some discomfort in my body,
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Good. And we're going to move to the inside of the eyebrow. And you might even already start to feel the body kind of calming down. Maybe I feel nervous or unsure. Go ahead and repeat after me, Pam. Maybe
Oh,
I
I
feel
was so
nervous or
like,
unsure
even though I feel nervous or unsure,
outside the eyebrow, but I love and accept myself.
but I love and accept myself.
Good. Under the eye, right in the middle here. Everything's here trying to keep me safe.
Everything is here trying to keep me safe.
Under the nose, everything's trying to make sure I'm loved.
Everything is trying to make sure that I am loved.
Good, chin. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Collarbone. Even though I have a little discomfort in my body sometimes,
Even though I have a little discomfort in my body sometimes,
and sometimes a lot of discomfort,
and sometimes a lot of discomfort,
I love and accept myself.
I love and accept myself.
Good. We're going to go under the arm. This is kind of hard to find, but right here below the armpit. There we go. Great. Take a deep breath in. Exhale down. Good. Side of the hand. We're going to do just one more round. Okay. Just one more round right here. I already always love and accept myself.
I already always love and accept myself.
Yes. Nailed it. Top of the head. There's no part of me that I need to reject.
There is no part of me that I need to reject.
Inside of the eyebrow. All parts of me are trying to keep me safe and loved.
All parts of me are trying to keep me safe and loved.
Outside of the eyebrow. And it is safe for me to gently parent those parts.
And it is safe for me to gently parent both parts.
Under the eye. I might not have learned gentle parenting.
I might not have learned gentle parenting.
Under the nose. And I'm open to gentle parenting within myself.
And I am open to gentle parenting within myself.
Chin. And I already always love and accept myself.
And I already always love and accept myself.
Collarbone. I'm celebrating all that I am and am not.
I am celebrating all that I am and am not.
And I open myself up to abundance.
And I open myself up to abundance.
Under the arm. To my greatest adventure.
To my greatest adventure.
Side of the hand. And I already always love and accept myself.
And I already always love and accept myself.
Okay, and I'm going to bring this home with us here. We're going to put our fingertips together. I love and accept this process.
I love and accept this process.
I am open to peace.
I am open to peace.
Good. Go ahead and give yourself a nice hand rub and get your hands really, really nice and hot. And then give yourself a self hug and give yourself some squeezes. I just love to do, these are called gorilla thumps. I like doing some gorilla thumps and just knock out some of that energy. So this was a really, really short session, right? But you might already just start to feel like a little like, okay, I think I released some heaviness in my body, or maybe I feel a little bit more centered already. So that's what we can do in like 2 minutes, right? So, with intention and repetition, this really, really can transform how we feel in our body and the relationship we have to the relationship we have to what the body is communicating. We can really, really transform that. Oh, hello, anxiousness. What do you need me to know? What are you letting me know? And not like, oh, I hate that I'm anxious again. What's wrong with me? Right? It's like, hey, why don't I feel safe? What do I need? So yeah, it's a really beautiful practice, and I'm always happy to share it. So thank you so much for having me.
Well, what I'm hearing and what you're saying, it's profoundly like your partnership with your body and
Absolutely.
communication with your
Yeah.
body, and that's exciting. That the thought of that is just beautiful. So thank you for bringing this to our attention and explaining tapping, because it's something that I was very curious about, and I've learned quite a bit, and I hope that you have too, those of you who are listening or watching on YouTube. This was an incredible session with Miss JoJo Diggs, who is an extraordinary coach. You can look in the notes to reach out to her, go to her Instagram and watch her in action. I know that you'll find that she is one of the most extraordinary people you've ever met in your life. Can't wait for you guys to meet because of this session. Thank you so much for being here. And as I always say yes. Bye bye. And that's it.